Alright, I want to talk a little bit about installing the South African grill kit just for a few minutes. This is a 86 van. Actually already had the outer lights put in before I got it, and they went back to the round headlights so they could put the H4 lights on the outer. So then they decided to go ahead and just do the full South African grill kit install. And you can see I've already installed one side already here. So let me just pop this bad boy back off. South African grill is not as robust as the normal grill, so you got to be careful taking it on and off. It can get a little flimsy. Okay, let me do it real quick because I can't do it one-handed. I'll be right back. Alright, so this looks like with the grill off. You can see I've already installed this one side here. There's a difference here with how this mount is on the top. You can see this is thinner than the bottom one, and it has this cutout here where it doesn't go the full width of it. Actually allows for this plate to be installed so that you can have all your snaps engaged. For the 4 headlight grill, the South African grill, you don't have to do that, but whatever. And you can see also here we got this outer round headlight bucket, same exact one as for the earlier vans. It just bolts right in place. Really the main difference you have to replace the plug on the back of this light, because it has a 9004 plug. Got to change it over to an H4 style plug, which you can pick up at any hardware store. I mean, Napa auto parts store, something like that would be fine. Okay, they'll be able to hook you up with one of those. The inner light here, it's actually supposed to wire in exactly the same as the 86. So you can see what I did here. The plug's a little different. You can actually cut the old one in half and then just move the wires. You'll see one of these wires in the back of here is actually brown. That's your ground. The other one is yellow, I think. And that's going to go to this white one, which is your power supply. That way, it's, when you turn it on, how it's supposed to work, it's only supposed to turn these inner lights on when you turn on your high beams. They're made to be a high beam. Okay, so I know there's some websites that say put a fog light switch in, and then you can turn them into fog lights, but you're gonna be blinding the crap out of everybody coming towards you when you do something like that. So do you want them to crash into you? I don't, so don't do that. Rig it up as a high beam, and you're gonna have plenty of extra light. These outer lights, being H4s, definitely help a lot, and the inner ones, they help as well. Now, in order to install this thing, you can see there's nothing here on this side. Basically just put this up here kind of where you think it might go. Okay, you hold it in place with one hand, you grab your South African grill, go ahead and put it on, and just kind of center it where you want it. Then you can pull the grill back out of the way, mark where these holes are here with a magic marker. Then when you take this off, you got your marks. You can use a center punch the holes, wherever you mark, say here, something like that. Center punch it, and then I like to use these self-tapping screws. They'll actually drill the holes and do the screw at the same time, and then you should be good to go. So like I said, you can kind of see on this side, if I can find it, yep, here's the old plug for the inner lights for the square. Just cut that in half with a razor knife, shave off any excess, like this little tab here, shave that off, then you can just plug it in. Okay, so for the squares, it's more plug and play. For the if you have the round headlights and you want to install this, you're just going to have to make some pigtails over here to the main harness. That's going to allow you to have the inner lights running off of the high beam circuit. So it's not really that big of a deal. Okay, so just letting you know. So I mean, that's about it. Let me go ahead and get this thing marked out, and I'll show you how I did that. Like I said, it's just a matter of holding up there, lining everything up, and marking stuff. Okay, so you can see I'm just holding this light here, try to center it in this opening. You put it out so that it goes around at least the side you're working with here. There's a little tab down here in the bottom. You want to make sure that's seated in there. That way you know the grill is lined up properly. Okay, as far as this thing goes, you can see up here there's an adjuster. Also down in this bottom left corner is also another adjuster. So you want to kind of, you know, use that as a reference point. Say, okay, the two adjusters look like they're lined up right. The thing's kind of centered. Okay, you just hold it there, and then the other hand, you can pull the grill back off, hold this in place, then you use your magic marker to mark it. You should be good shape. Alright, so I got this thing up here. I kind of marked with my marker in the holes. But you can see on this top edge, the thing's not going all the way up, okay, to the top. And it's not really giving me very much to grab onto here with my screws. So what I'm going to do is take this back off. I've already kind of marked it where I want it. I can bend this metal flange here where this thing mounts. Okay, you just kind of see, like if the bottom's lining up good, you leave that alone. Bend the top out a little bit so that you want to put your screws, you know, kind of centered in this upper lip here. Okay, that way you got some stuff to drill onto. And yeah, this thing's made in South Africa, so believe me, the tolerances are just not, you know, super awesome. But they'll work. So I'm going to bend that out, remark it, it'll be good to go. Alright, so I went ahead and marked this thing, got it in here. You know, it's not going to be totally perfectly straight or whatever. It doesn't have to be, as long as the light's lined up. That's really the main thing. These are the screws I use. These are number 4 self-drilling. Actually it says number 8 by 3/4 inch pan head. Okay, I got these at Home Depot. You need 8 of them. You're also going to need, like I said, some connectors here and some wiring if you have the early Vanagon. If you don't, you already got your wiring. Just plug it in. You'll be good to go. Let me go ahead and cut that. I'll get this plugged in and put the grill on. You can see the end result here. So you see we got everything installed except for the grill. Got these lights turned on. Everything's working properly. Okay. As far as the grill goes, we've got these. This emblem does not come in it, but you'll see on the back side there's these 3 tabs back here. You know, you basically just kind of try to start all 3 at the same time, and then just give it a little gentle persuasion. It should pop right in there. And that's about it. I'm ready to put the grill on, which I probably can't do one-handed and stuff, but it's gonna look good when it gets on there. I'll take another video here in just a sec. She'll be on there. Alright, there it is on there. Everything looks good. One thing I neglected to mention earlier was here in the center you have this slotted screw. It's like a Zeus fastener. You actually have to swap it over from the other grill because the new one doesn't come with it. Besides that, you know, on the edges they have these things, they just pop in here. That's what supports the top edge. Bottom edge, you're basically, like I said, making sure these little feet that stick down are seated down there. You'll see places for them to seat in there, and then you're good to go. Alright, so that's it. That's installing South African grill kit on the Vanagon. Hope you enjoyed it.